What's up, everybody? It's your boy D Mac, man. I just wanted to come on for a little bit and just talk about perspective. I just want to talk about perspective because, coming onto these YouTube streets, you got to come in these YouTube streets with a little bit of wisdom. And if you don't come into these YouTube streets with some wisdom, it's just like the regular streets. You're going to get ate up. You definitely gonna get ate up. And so, it's good whenever you come on these different channels and you decide that you want to be a content creator, you want to be a provider. You got to link up with the right people, man. Because if you don't link up with the right people, then you'll find yourself out there in limbo. We was having a discussion earlier. Shout out to everybody that was on the panel and in the chats over there at King TV. But we was discussing these things, and I was letting them know, hey, I'm a new dude in here. So whenever I first came out, I came out guns blazing, and it take those OGs in the game to let you know, hey, you calming down a little bit, and you got to be humble enough to listen to those OGs whenever they're giving you that instruction and that wise counsel. And because I'm telling you now, I'm like O Dog off Minister Society. Y'all remember O Dog from Minister Society? That dude was ready for it at any given time. He wanted all the smoke. Whenever he heard smoke, he was there. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of how I am sometimes. Now, I know how to flip that switch and be able to be on some positive stuff and being able to build somebody up and to reach and connect the youth. I'm able to do all of that. But in doing all of that, you have to realize as a mentor and as somebody who's in a position of authority, you got to be able to challenge people. You got to be able to take criticism. You got to be able to take some flaming. And you got to be able to dish it out, because when you're dealing with those young people, you're going to have to establish who you are to them and then set that tone. And so I ain't got no problem coming in and having confrontation and jumping on people panels and checking it, all of that stuff. I'm with all that smoke because I know how to flip that switch when necessary. See, that's the problem that O-Dog that O-Dog had. He didn't know how to flip that switch. What's going on, Hurricane? Salute to you. You always the first one up in here. I so much love you and appreciate you. I appreciate your support so much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's like that whole O-Dog. I got that O-Dog syndrome. If you want smoke, it don't matter if you don't want it with me. If you want it with one of my niggas, I'm with that. I want it too. I like to smoke. I'm a smoker. I'm a habitual smoker. You know what I'm saying? I want all the cancer. I want all the smoke. Let's go. And so it takes some of those OGs to be like, calm down, young buck, calm down. You know what I'm saying? Just bide your time and move like this and move like that. And, as I begin to see how things are starting to play out, like, okay, I got you, OG, for real. Because you have to have a certain perspective when you're on here. You definitely do. Yeah. You come in as that loose cannon, you ready to get a business to anybody. So, and that's how it is. But, you have to be able to put things into perspective. Is this something that I really need to speak on? You know what I'm saying? My brothers got it. My sisters got it. Is this something that I really need to involve myself in? You have to start asking these questions and move accordingly in these YouTube streets. And that's something that I'm starting to see and I'm starting to pick up on. And you said throat punch red. I love that throat punch. That throat punch, it subdues everything. It stops everything. But that perspective is necessary. And another thing is, within the core of people that I deal with, it's some beautiful queens. Straight beautiful queens. So I subscribe to their channels and I go in, and I'm not one of those people who are sub to your channel and just leave it at that and don't look at your content or interact with you. No, I go in, I check out your content, see what you really own, so I know what type of person I'm dealing with, what type of vibe they have, and how I can build a rapport with them, within our little small community and stuff. And so Queens, I see y'all. I see y'all. Y'all bad. I pull up some of y'all stuff. Sometimes I'll be like, oh hot damn. But that's my sister. You know what I'm saying? So I got to step back for a minute, gain perspective. Look, I'm a grown ass, married ass man, and I'm happily married, and I'm chilling. These are my sisters, albeit they fine as hell. They just my fine ass sisters. You know what I'm saying? And I keep that perspective when dealing with my sisters on here, because one thing I don't want to do is be contrary to my message. And my message is always about integrity. It's always about, being a stand up person and being real about your shit. And so if you on here putting yourself up on this pedestal and this plateau like you're above all of this shit, but then you back in the background with a sneaky link and all types of shit like that, that's a very, very bad character trait. And I've already been through that in my life. I've done all the hoeing and all of the backdoor tipping that I'm going to do in my life. I'm good on all of that. And so I love and respect my sisters on here for the beautiful people that they are, period. And, that's just what it is. And if somebody try to fuck with my sisters just like my sisters in real life, you going to catch that smoke. It's going to be some smoke in the city, dog. And they gonna have to be the ones to tell me, yo, Mac, chill, Mac. Because if not, I'm coming at your throat. That's how I am for the people that's in my circle. It don't matter. I'm coming for you. Oh, they wanna fight who? They wanna do what with who? Oh, I'm with all that. Let's go. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm always gonna be at with it, with anybody that I have respect for within our circle. We was discussing earlier how these people are on the other side of the tracks, I like to call it, they are constantly flipping on each other. They constantly throwing each other under the bus. There's no real solidified unit there. Anybody is subject to be flipped on that side, and I don't like that, because I'm the type of person that if you flip on me just over some ego shit, I'm ready to fight you in the physical. I don't want it to be words no more. That's when I get quiet. You know how some people, whenever you piss them off to a certain extent, they just get quiet and they don't say nothing. They just be smiling and shaking their head. That's because they plotting on what they getting ready to do to you. And so that's how I am with, okay, that's what it is. Let's go. At that point right there, I'm ready to put on some boxing gloves. I always allude to that because I don't want nobody to think I'm just a violent person out here who's not wise, who's gonna just run up on somebody in the streets and jump out on them, risking myself getting shot, risking somebody else. Nah, we gonna do this right. We gonna sanction this, and we both going to agree to it. We gonna get in the ring and we gonna box it out. That's what I'm talking about. So whenever I come at these cats and I challenge them, I'm challenging them to a sanctioned boxing match. It's all legal how I'm gonna whoop your ass. Every last bit of it. And so that's the way that I cover myself, because I know a lot of them will take your words and try to twist it and try to paint a narrative of you, especially with me carrying the moniker that I do, because I often get people asking me, am I a deacon? Because of the content that I have, because of the things that I speak on, especially with the spiritual foundation that I have. So there's some things that sometimes are expected from me based on the image that I put forth. And so yeah, I'm beginning to catch it. I'm catching on, y'all. You said you get quiet too, but not smiling. That's even worse right there. Anytime somebody get quiet on me, I know anytime people get quiet on me, I know to just chill for a little bit, calm it down, because either I've said something that's hurt their feelings, I said something that struck a nerve and took them to a place. And one thing I don't want to do is create a problem to where I can find a solution. And so when I notice a person, I'm always watching a person's body language, especially if we're in person. If I'm able to see you face to face and we're having a conversation, we're engaging with each other, I'm looking at all of your body language and all of those different identifying things that's going to show me anxiety. It's going to show me deception. It's going to show me that you're guarded. All of those things so that I know how to either extend the conversation or stop the conversation. I'm a very analytical person and I break things down in my mind as I'm doing them sometimes. And so these are things that I'm just picking up on to be mindful of. And on these YouTube streets, it's a little bit different because most of the times we have our avatars up. You can't really see a person and you can't tell what their body language is saying. But you can tell by the inflection in people's voice. You can tell by the raising of their voice. You can tell by the change in their in what they're saying as far as adding more cuss words and all of that stuff, or getting quiet, like you said, Hurricane. Because you said you get quiet, but you don't be smiling. And so if I'm talking to somebody and they get quiet on me, I'm gonna tone it down a little bit so we can find some common ground. Because that's always going to be my goal, is to find common ground. Even with Kwame Brown, if that dude ever get the damn balls to face me on a panel, I'm not going on there with the intent of embarrassing that dude. I'm not going on there with the intent of berating him and stuff like that. I'm going on there with the intent of finding some answers to the questions and to actually get some understanding of that dude. And if he starts with that bullshit, then I have no problem going there with him. Absolutely. Because I see how he do people. I see how he did Gil. And, instead of trying to build and try to get to the bottom of something so that there can be some type of, I ain't even gonna say reconciliation, but just some understanding. That ain't what he was looking for. That dude was on there to talk shit and to get some damn views and to get his likes up and using the notoriety that Gil still have. Because let's face it, Gil still got more juice than Kwame ever had, especially when it comes to that world of Hollywood and entertainment. He still got some good ties to the NBA and Sports Center and all of that stuff like that. So it wouldn't be a problem for them to have a Gilbert Arenas on their platform. And so he's piggybacking off of Gil's notoriety, but yet he want to turn around and talk about how everybody else is trying to use his imagined notoriety to get some likes and to come up. So it's crazy to me how he can ride a man's coattails, but when somebody jump on his coattail, then he got a problem with it. But, you know, he's not a nice person. Well, see, that's the thing. Because, you know, B-Mac is a nice person. But Mac by himself, oh no, he's very niggerish. Yeah, he has some niggerish, there's some powerful niggatry that comes with Mac. That's my alter ego. Whenever I'm just straight Mac and I ain't Deacon Mac, oh yeah, I'm on my bullshit. So y'all know, y'all know I'll give fair warning when Mac come out because he's constantly lurking. That's my defense system because I'm really a nice guy at heart. If I didn't have the need to defend myself and to guard my spirit from people out here with evil intentions, then I would be the nicest, most loving, most generous person in the world. But the evil-minded people out here won't allow me to be that person, and that's why Mac was created, because Mac protects Deacon Mac. Mac protects Kunta, the little naive guy who just wants to be your friend and wants everybody to be happy. Yeah, Mac was created out of necessity to protect me from myself. And that's real. That's real shit. It sounds funny. It might sound like I'm just talking, but no, that's real psychological shit that's going on with me. And so there's many times where Mac has to talk, well, not Mac, but Deacon Mac has to talk Mac down. And then there's sometimes where Mac and Deacon Mac is on the same accord, and I just can't do shit with him. At that point, I just sit back and let him do what he do until he get tired. But this is me gaining perspective. I understand. Hey, y'all, hold on for a second. Man, sorry about that, y'all. That was one of my youngest coming through, man. I'm telling you, I always have people dropping in on me. Um, because of conversations like this, because I'm willing to sit down and have open and honest conversation, and they can be open and honest with me. That ain't no flex. That's just how I was built. That's something that was put into me. Sometimes it's a blessing, sometimes it's a curse, because oftentimes I catch myself carrying other people's burdens, and I have to be mindful of that and put these things in perspective and not carry other people's burdens, and just give them wise counsel so that they'll be able to deal with their burden without feeling like they're overwhelmed and stuff. And so it's all perspective. It's all about putting things into perspective, because if you do not put things into perspective, then you will find yourself just out there flapping in the wind. There's been many times where I wanted to go in so bad. There's been many times where I just wanted to say certain things, and then somebody in the chat will be like, "Hey, Mac," and they'll give me a sign, and I ain't too humble to follow instruction. One of the qualities of a great leader is being able to follow. And that's something that I definitely instill in my children. I always put emphasis on being the leader part, but I also let them know that one of the best qualities of a good leader is knowing how to follow. Because as a leader, I'm going to surround myself with people who know a hell of a lot more than I do. Because whenever I get out of pocket, I want somebody who's going to have the foresight to recognize that and to catch me before I go too far. This is what good leaders do. This is what smart leaders do. Everybody around me is smarter than me. I make sure than that. I make sure of that. You said, he said, unfortunately, you speak your mind regardless. Some don't like it. Well, everybody's not supposed to like it. That's the whole point about offending people. And what's dude named Jordan Peterson? He said it the best. He was like, in order to think outside of the box and to be creative, you have to run the risk of offending people. In order to be original and create a dialogue, you have to risk being offensive, because people will not mind being offensive to you. And so in order to create the dialogue that you're looking for, or in order to find answers to certain questions, you're going to have to be offensive. If I ask, say I go up to a Native American person and I ask them why I don't never see them as a family out in public. That may be something that's offensive to them, but that's something that I really want to know. And I'm willing to risk that in order for me to find the answer to my question. And so you have to be like that sometime. I'm going to speak my mind. If I have a question and there's something I don't know that I'm ignorant to, I'm going to try my best to find that out, so I won't be ignorant to that subject anymore. That's just common sense. That's common sense. We have to risk being offensive in certain moments in order to get a solution to a problem. So if you're scared to offend anybody, how are we supposed to? That's what I want to know. How are we supposed to gain an understanding of each other if we're not willing to risk offense? Do you know that we be around so many different ethnic groups every single day, and we don't know a single thing about that ethnic group, but we're afraid to ask because we're afraid to offend somebody? I have neighbors right down here, and they're from Nigeria. Had I not struck up a conversation with them and risk offending them because of things that I really want to know, then I wouldn't have the rapport that I have with my neighbors now. You know, you got to be willing to risk that sometimes in order to gain some understanding and some knowledge. And anybody who's not willing to do that, then I don't know. I don't know. That's just something that you got to work out between you and your creator. But I'm going to ask some questions. I don't care if it's going to offend you. I'm going to state my opinion. I don't care if it offends you. Actually, I'm looking to be provocative. I provoke thought. That's what I do. This is one of my things. What's up, Cynthia? Good to see you. This is one of my main objectives, is to provoke thought. And so in order for me to provoke thought, I can't be scared to ask something. I can't be scared to say something, because then that'll defeat the whole purpose of what I'm trying to do. So yeah, it's all about that perspective, gaining that perspective, being able to rightly divide the situation and being able to put the situation in its proper context. Yeah, we definitely got to be careful. And, you know, with what happened on Cornbread's channel, that's one of the things that has deterred me or delayed me from doing panels, actually, because I know that people will come in and try to bomb your panel, because I know I've done it to a couple people already myself. And so sometimes you think somebody coming in on some positive stuff, and they may come in and just go all the way left on you. So these are the little wisdom nuggets that I'm picking up in these YouTube streets. And I appreciate all of y'all, Hurricane, Cynthia, Truth Lady, Real Cornbread, Your Crazy Cousin, Self-Awareness TV, Kings TV, Queen's World, Sears with the Wrench. Man, the list goes on and on. I'm appreciative of all of y'all, because y'all put me up on game. Y'all always put me up on game whenever I come up on platforms and stuff like that. So I'm never a person who's going to hold back any flowers that I have for somebody. I'm kind of like Fred Taylor on The Pivot. They call him Freddie Flowers because he's the one on the show who gives people their props and gives them their appreciation and accolades and stuff like that. And so I like to do that as well with my people, to let them know that I appreciate them. So that ain't on no sucker shit. That ain't on no simp shit. Nah, that's just on some real brother appreciating the people around them shit. You know, in this age and time that we live in, this is something that we have to do. We have to reinforce our message, because if we don't, it can easily be manipulated and used as a tool against us. You said you always got in trouble for asking questions when you was in school. Oh, me too. Me too. They call you a troublemaker when you ask questions. When you ask questions, they call you a trouble, especially when it's questions that they can't answer. Instead of having the humility of saying, I don't know the answer to that question, but we'll find out, they'll call you a troublemaker. They'll say that you're trying to be in defiance of the teacher. Yeah, that's their favorite little thing. He's defiant. But see, I've explained before that when I was younger, because my parents named me Kunta Kinte, they made sure that I had all information at my disposal pertaining to my name, where it came from, and everything like that. And so there was books that I had as a child, I mean like third, fourth grade, whatever age you start doing reports for like Black History Month and stuff. And I would do my reports based on people that no one's ever heard. Y'all probably heard me talk about this before. And those teachers would begin to ask me questions because they don't even have this information. And so oftentimes when we're in history class and they start talking about something and I be like, no, that's not correct. And then I begin to go into why it's not correct. They get angry because they feel like I'm showing them up in front of the class, or I'm trying to embarrass them. And I'm not trying to embarrass them. I just want everybody to have the correct record. And so they'll call you a troublemaker. Yeah, I got into trouble all the time for that too, but I was willing to take that. I was really willing to take that because I understood that that's going to come anytime you challenge somebody who sees themselves in a position of authority over you. That's definitely one of the things that was relayed to me all the time. And so, you know, it is what it is. We just going to have to take that bump, y'all. If you're the type of person who have questions, then I rock with you because you really want some understanding. That's what that lets me know. I used to get mad because, like, when me and my wife first got together, you know, she would ask me a lot of questions. She's an Aries just like me, and so, you know, she would ask a lot of questions because she really wanted to understand my view, my point of view, and where I was coming from. But I took it as she was questioning me and she was questioning the validity of what I was saying to her. That's the way I took it. And then she had to explain to me why she do that. And now it's not a problem. And I have no problem answering my wife's questions, and I don't get offended anymore. See, that offense is something else. You can just be trying to get an understanding of something and offend a person. And so that's why I'm speaking on how people are easily offended and how we have to be mindful of these things and noticing these different things, because it can be the difference in a great communication and miscommunication. I've seen it a couple times so far just within the interactions between Kwame group and between our group. I've seen it. You know, people say something out of context, or they mispronounce something or say something the wrong way. Next thing you know, you got a whole full-fledged argument going on. But it's necessary to question these things and to provoke thought, because you're not going to be able to get an understanding and you're not going to know that person if you don't take that opportunity. So yeah, I keep everything in perspective. Hey, good evening to you, J Kids. Blessings to you. Yeah, I just try to keep everything in perspective, because if not, then you know what they say, when you assume, you make an ass of you and me. And so I don't want to be out here making an ass of people, and I definitely don't want to come across as a jackass, even though I'm a narcissist and I really can be a jackass at times. But, you know, it is what it is. What you see is what you get. My personality on here is exactly what you're going to see if you meet me in person. Ask Reverend Tony. Me and Reverend Tony done linked up. And matter of fact, Reverend Tony, if you see this, I'm going to be coming to your neck of the woods pretty soon. And so I'll be sure to let you know when I'm in the Shreveport area so we can link up again. That's my dude right there. But yeah, everything is in perspective, man, because you said people are offended too easily now. Well, see, that was prophesied. That was absolutely prophesied. And I appreciate you for saying that, Hurricane, because that was one of the prophecies that was forementioned. In the last days, people are going to be easily offended by everything. And now you see, we've created a whole damn group for it, cancel culture. Cancel culture is basically the world saying we're easily offended and we're going to shut down anything that offends us. So the prophecy is being fulfilled right before our very eyes. So I ain't even tripping. I knew what cancel culture was whenever it came about. That's just a way to shut down somebody who's willing to speak truth. That's all cancel culture is designed for. That's its sole purpose in this world. That's why it's being funded, and that's why it's being given a platform to speak out against people, because that's its sole purpose is to shut down anybody who's willing to speak the truth. Because all of Hollywood, all of entertainment, all of these images in America are fabricated. They're all lies. They're all deception. They're all manipulation. And so anybody who speaks against that system, you're subject to become a victim of it. They're going to protect their lives at all costs. So just know that whenever you come on here, you got to come with the perspective of, I'm going to be attacked because I'm coming to tell the truth. I'm coming to lay the foundation for all the things that's going on here that's on some bullshit. So when you come in with that mindset, you come in like that, you better just know that you are going to be attacked, whether it be by the phantom pages or those agents that they send in to troll your pages and all of that stuff. Oh, I'm constantly reporting and deleting those little porn advertisements that they like to throw up on my page. And I noticed that it's only on the content that's speaking truth and doing numbers. Because the videos that I have that's only got about 9 or 10 views, something like that, and a like here or there, I don't have no type of activity on those. But the ones I have that's hitting 1,000, 2K views and shit like that, it's starting to get a little bit of activity. That's where I start seeing all of these little porn ads and all of these trolls start to pop up in my shit and talking crazy. And I love to troll the trolls sometimes. That's one of the most exciting parts of my days is having a troll to come in and challenge me on something thinking that it's about to be a sweet lick. Oh man, let me get my napkin and tuck it down in the front of my shirt and get my knife, my spoon, and my salad fork, because I'm ready to eat. You come on here trolling me, oh my goodness, that's a day you'll never forget. It'll be a life-changing experience. You try to troll me because I'm with all of that. I have nothing but time. I am retired. Happily and stably retired and chilling and got all day to do nothing but roast the shit out of you. And so I put that disclaimer out there for a lot of people. Salute Wiz. I said Wiz. Sis. I said Wiz because you still calling me DC Curry. I ain't no damn DC Curry. That was funny though, bro. That shit had me cracking up, dog. Now every time I talk, you got me self-conscious on here trying to make sure I don't sound country as hell like DC Curry. But that's what's up, dog, man. That's the thing about brothers. We definitely flame each other up. When you get comfortable with somebody and you consider them somebody that you rock with, man, yeah, you start to notice things about them. And I had to laugh, man, because when he showed the clip of DC Curry, man, and the way his voice is, that raspiness and that old country twang, I was like, dude, that ain't me. Low key, it sound like me, but fuck you, nigga. But that's my dude, man. I rock with Sis. Salute to you, King. Yeah, man, it's all about perspective. I'm starting to gain perspective in here. You said, Deacon, you drinking? No, I ain't drinking at all. This is just me and my natural habitat. Oh, me drinking? You know what, though? When I drink, I'm still that laid back dude that's chilling. If I was in the club and I had some drinks, I'd be that dude back in the cut, over in the dark corner, just posted up cooling and enjoying my drink, enjoying the lovely ladies doing their thing on the dance floor, just cool. I'm that dude. So if I was drinking, but I can get live too. Drink, no drink, smoke, no smoke. I can flip that switch and I can go all the way to 100 real quick. It's just me. No matter what I'm doing, no matter what state of mind I'm in, I'm always at some level of chill. You know, and the only time that I get amped up or get charged up is when somebody take it there with me. And so just as quiet and cool as I can be, I can just be just as loud and just as ignorant. It's just that simple. I'm very multi-talented when it comes to that. You know, I got my alter egos and they just waiting to pop out. Like I said, Mac is always waiting to pop out because if he feel like Deacon Mac or Kunta is being threatened by anybody, Mac is that dude that's ready. And you know, Beanie Siegel used to call himself Mac. And so when I see Mac, I see him with that type of attitude. I'm just ready to snuff the food. See, I'm like really and truly, I consider myself like the old dog of YouTube right now. Y'all remember how old dog was on Minister Society? Kane always had to calm that dude down. You remember when he shot the store manager in the head and killed him just because he thought that dude said something about his mama? That's me. Y'all gonna have to stop me with these dudes sometimes whenever they talking shit. Like Darren B, I was down in Ears chat one night and you know I was just over there seeing what was going on. I was there because I was trying to see if Ears was gonna respond to something that I said to him. And you know, I was just over there talking my talk. Darren B was like, "You better chill before I put you out the chat." I'm like, "Man, I don't give a fuck about you putting me out no chat. Like that's supposed to be some kind of damn threat to me or something." Ooh, like I really care about that shit. Like you get kudos there. Oh, you really told him, Darren B. Oh, look at man, you don't shut your ass up, bro. I eat mods for dinner. I got a plate of mods in there in my refrigerator right now. How you like that, Darren B? Darren bitch. That's what the B stand for. But I'm gonna leave that alone. Let me stop talking about people. This is Sunday after all. This is supposed to be a day of reflection and a day of chilling and a day of being cool. But I'm just saying. That's all. Man, I had a great day today, man. How was y'all day today? My day was so dope, man. I went in fellowship with my brothers at the House of God, man, and the children put on a great, they did a great show, man. They did a great service because we always have a children's service to where we strengthen the kids and we build them up in confidence and being able to speak in front of large groups, being able to perform in front of large groups, being able to conduct themselves in these manner because as they grow up, they're going to enter into jobs to where they're going to have to do presentations in front of people. And the first place that they learn how to do that is where? In the church. Whenever you got to get up in front of everybody in the church and you got to do a poem or you got to do the greeting or you have to do any type of presentation, this is building up in our children for what they're going to go out into the world and face. And so they're not going to have that fear because this is something that they're not new to. And so when we have our children's services like that, that is the main goal, man. So I'm always there for that. Always, I love to see our kids being built up because me, back in the day, whenever I had my rap group and we had to start performing on stage, I never had that problem of stage fright and stuff like that because I was raised up in the church. I've been on stage since I was a little baby. You know what I'm saying? I've been in front of people for the longest time. Now, that is a double-edged sword because sometimes you have those children who don't have nobody's talent in the world and everybody gonna be encouraging, that's right, baby, go ahead, baby. So then every now and then that'll produce somebody who really don't have those skills, but they think they do because everybody in the church told them they did. But you know, that's isolated incidents right there. For the most part, most of your most famous people in Hollywood will let you know that their foundation started in the church. It started in the church. And so, you know, the church is always building up our children to become great leaders. And so I love the little youth services that we have. And shout out to the youth, man. They doing their thing. I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable about our future with some of the children that we're raising up and sending out into the world to do great things. So, yeah, man, you said Yeah, I be cutting up sometimes. I try to. I try to. And yeah, man, I ain't even gonna talk about that dude, Duran. He ain't even worth the conversation yet. Not to me anyway. I talked to him before we really was uh got on a separate side of the tracks. I had a conversation with that dude. He seemed okay, I guess, but he seemed way too eager to me. He was way too eager to make a name for himself, and he felt like he had to prove a point in every time he got on a panel. And those types of people are dangerous. So I just gotta fall back whenever I know there's certain character flaws that's not gonna be meshing well with mine. And so yeah, I just leave that dude alone. But hey, salute to you, Corey. Appreciate you coming in. Yeah, just talking about perspective, having the right perspective, and being mindful of what you're doing in these YouTube streets, because we see how people, they'll come through and they'll porn bomb you, and they'll come in and they'll troll your account and all of that stuff like that. I'm starting to see the grimy things that they like to do. That reminds me of people out here who are getting caught lacking. There's always somebody seeking an opportunity to make an example of their op. And the same thing on these YouTube streets. These YouTube streets, I consider them the cyber version of the actual streets out here. I look at it in the same manner and I treat people accordingly. So when I'm on YouTube, it's like I'm in the streets. It's like I'm in a neighborhood. There's a whole lot of things going on, and I just have to watch my step in this hood. I'm new to the hood, and so I don't know all the pitfalls and all the dangers of the hood right now. I'm just a dude that moved in. I'm trying to feel my way around here. I'm trying to establish myself in the neighborhood and do my thing and just coexist with everybody here. And so I have to know who's who, what's what, and that's what I'm doing. But in doing so, I'm going to have to run the risk of offending some people. I'm going to have to run the risk of making myself vulnerable to some people. But at the same time, I'm going to be looking at them from a certain perspective, and I'm also going to be using discernment to be able to recognize who's for me and who's secretly against me and who's openly against me. I respect that, because at least you let me know where you stand. It's not hard. It's not hard at all to figure out who's for you and who's not for you. You said it's almost Monday. Hey, I've been enjoying football too. I really have, even though my Washington Commanders got smoked today. Yeah. I've been talking about smoke. Man, you talking about smoke. Philly, y'all ain't have to do us like that. Yo, broke wing birds. Y'all ain't have to do us like that. I know it's a division game, it's a little rivalry or whatever, but y'all ain't have to do us like that. Yeah, I just had to say that. Yeah, I'm a Washington Commanders fan. All right, see, this is the thing, because people are kind of confused about where I am or where I'm from. I was born in Washington, D.C., the nation's capital. We moved from Washington, D.C. to North Carolina when I was about 4 years old. And I was raised in North Carolina from the age of 4 all the way up until I moved to Texas when I was like 26 or 27. And so I consider my home football team, Washington. I also have a secondary team of the Panthers. And I'm also a diehard Carolina Tar Heels fan. So any Duke fans out there, any NC State fans out there, nothing personal, but I can't stand your team. And nothing personal against you. I can love you to death, but your team is boo-boo. I just wanted to say that. I have to always get a jab in at Duke fans and Cowboy fans. I see Duke fans and Cowboy fans as just the same. Y'all love y'all team just as much as we love our team. You're never gonna back down, no matter how garbage they are. You're still gonna try to make them out to be some decent garbage. But at least we're high quality garbage. At least we're gourmet garbage. That's the mindset and the attitude of Dallas fans and Duke fans, and you can't do nothing but respect it. I love all of you. That is it's just where it is, man. That's the fun of sports, man, is being able to have that banter and to talk shit back and forth to each other. Tell you, I love it. And so it's back to my main purpose is it's all perspective. It all comes down to perspective. You said you got J Kids, you said you got comfortable speaking from doing it in church too. Yeah, a lot of us did, man. Anybody who has that church upbringing, you have a leg up on a lot of people, especially if they didn't have that in their life. Yeah, your Cowboys play tomorrow night and they play against those Giants, and I don't know, Saquon looking strong. Y'all DBs and y'all linebackers better be on point. That's all I'm saying, because that boy has streaks of Barry Sanders in him. Those legs, those super huge legs that's just unnecessarily big. I believe Channing Crowder uncomfortably commented on his legs, which Channing Crowder is known to do. Shout out to the Pivot Podcast. Channing Crowder is my dude. He's the primary reason why I watch it. Fred T, he covered his own, and Ryan Clark covered his own. But Channing Crowder is the main reason why I tune in, because I'm waiting to see what Channing gonna say next. I'm waiting to see how he gonna put his foot in his mouth next. I'm waiting to see how he's just gonna make how he gonna make the person that they interview and jaw just drop. I'm always looking for that. He my dude. He got that no filter type of attitude, and I rocks with that. So, but yeah, Channing, he alluded to the fact, man, that dude thighs is so huge. Pause. Hey, y'all gonna have a time with Saquon. That boy is feeling confident. There's nothing worse than a confident Saquon Barkley. So I'm gonna be excited to watch that game, man. And win, lose, or draw, man, it's gonna be a good game. Any of our division matches is gonna be a good game this year, because ain't nobody just weak punked. Everybody got something, some type of weaponry on their squad. You know, we got a quality, decent quarterback in Carson Wentz. As long as our offensive line is able to protect him, then y'all got some trouble on y'all hands. I'm telling you, anybody in the division with us, Washington, so Philly, New York, Dallas, hey, y'all better watch out. Y'all thinking it's gonna be sweet this season, man. We gonna come out with a couple upsets, I feel. But that's just me, man, talking about my team, and that's just the way I feel about it. We know MFU live already. Oh yeah, for sure. But and that's another thing that I put in perspective. Oh, Dr. Walsh, what's going on, my brother? I ain't even see you sneak up in here on me. You trying to be a chat ninja? Salute to you, my brother. Hey, Dr. Walsh be on some good stuff, man. I go and I check out Dr. Walsh, man, whenever I want to calm down and whenever I want to get the right perspective and put things in perspective, because the brother be saying some stuff, man, and he be making a plea to us. He remind me of I forget which prophet it was. I don't know if it was Ezekiel or if it was Nehemiah, one of them, but they had to go out and lay on his side for like 300 and something days, and then flip to the other side and lay there for like another 300 and something days, just to show the people how they were being lazy and how they were acting towards God. Then another time he had to walk through the city with no clothes on, butt naked, to show how Israel has stripped themselves naked and showed themselves to the rest of the world, and the shame that they're bringing upon themselves. Then you had Hosea, who had to go and marry a prostitute in order to show the relationship between God and Israel. So, you know, all of these different perspectives that come into play, man, you just have to learn from these things and apply it to your life so that you can move with more wisdom in this world. There's a lot of people who not moving in the right way. And like I said, these YouTube streets, they're dangerous, maybe not in a physical, well, no, they can be dangerous in a physical sense, because there's been many people who have lost their lives because of these YouTube beefs. We see a lot of these rappers who cater to these social media platforms and the people who are just agging on these beefs. And I guarantee you at least 40% of the lives that have been lost in the hip hop industry is all because of social media activity. You said you don't have no teams, you just watch. You know, that's how I am with NBA basketball. I really don't have a specific team. My team used to be the Portland Trail Blazers because I like Clyde the Glide Drexler. Yeah, that's letting y'all know my age a little bit. But yeah, that was a team that I used to call my team. And I liked Boston Celtics for a while. This was the Boston Celtics that had Paul Pierce and KG and all them. But, you know, I really don't have an NBA team. I just like certain people. Yeah, Clyde the Glide, that was my dude. But yeah, getting back to it, I just gaining a different perspective in here. And there's a lot of people who are helping me to shape those perspectives and to be mindful of certain things. I just wanted to give a salute to all you brothers and sisters who do that for me. And hopefully one day when I'm sitting up there and I've been an OG in this game for a few years, I'll be able to do that same thing for people coming in. You know, I try to do that now with new people, new faces that I'm seeing pop up, and I'll check out their content. And if they're really on something good, then yeah, I'll give them a sub and I'll support them. I'll interact with them. Anything that I can share with them to, you know, help them to further along their stuff, then that's what I'm gonna do, because that's what's been done for me. And so I'm always going to pay it forward. That's what it's all about, y'all, paying it forward. Somebody helped you to get on. Whenever you first decided to become a content creator, somebody took you under their wing. Somebody befriended you on here. Somebody let you know what was going on. It's like when you get to prison, and there's somebody in there who gonna put you up on all the game that's going on. Usually if you got a good cellie and they've been there for a second, then your cellie is gonna put you up on what's going on. So, you know, I just put all of these things into perspectives like that, and I associate it to stuff like that because, you know, I don't want to get jammed up in something that I don't need to be jammed up in. Yeah, absolutely. I always want good energy returned to me, unless it's somebody that you know, that is not necessary. And there's a couple of people that I've encountered that, you know, whatever the energy is what it's going to be. Now, I understand that about people. But yeah, I just want to get on here and talk a little bit about that. Oh, I know the real reason because Ronald Jones been talking about he met a Kwamite and he was like, she fine. And this dude over here, we going to have to remix that song, I'm in Love with a Stripper, for him. He really falling for this Kwamite, man. You better gain perspective on that, my brother. I'm going to just say, watch out for the red flags. One red flag that's already out there is the fact that she's a Kwamite. So that lets you know her taste in men is questionable. That's one red flag you need to look at. I mean, there's a whole lot of temptations out here. And I remember the great writer and scholar, hip hop street scholar, Mr. Scarface, always said that pussy is a nigga's biggest downfall. And no disrespect to none of my queens, but he says that in the context of one of the best ways to get a man to let his guard down is to send a female. Don't send no dude. You send a dude we instantly gonna have our guard up. Who is this nigga? Who is this nigga? What this nigga want? You know, we're instantly gonna start thinking. But if you send a female who's batting those long, extended eyelashes and shaking that saline filled BBL and all of that stuff like that, then you know it tends to make our guard go down. It tends to get us distracted a little bit. So I would just say to Ronald Jones, bro, be careful. Them Kwamites be wearing prosthetics. You don't even know if that's a real ass she got. She might have sucked some fat out of her chin and had it put in her ass. Now you sitting here with a girl with the potential to have a double chin and her ass ain't even real, bro. You got to watch out for these Kwamites. I already gave you a description of a Kwamite. They are identified by their sloping forehead, their beady eyes, and their dolphin-like teeth. So this Kwamite that you ran into, you might want to question the validity of her being a Kwamite. And if she's confessing to be a Kwamite, that's like confessing to be a Donald Trump supporter. So just be careful with that, my brother. I love you, man. I'm just looking out for your best interest. I'm just saying. You wake up the next morning and she got them dolphin teeth looking like Puff Daddy. I don't want to hear you get on here whining about it. Because you gonna say, first thing I'm gonna say is, I told you so, dog. I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so, bro. So you wake up one morning and you looking at Puff Daddy. Hey, you chose that, bro. You chose that. Hey, shout out to my man, Real Ronald Jones, man. He's a real one too, man. That dude, he's funny. He had the real laid back demeanor and stuff, but don't sleep on him because he'll hit you with a zinger real smooth, like. Yeah, so as I begin to learn the different people, man, I begin to interact more with y'all, man. It's dope. It's real dope. I'm glad I met this group. And shit, we just gonna keep moving forward and building. We're building men. This is one of the themes that I stand by. Building men, starting with the youth, getting them while they're young and building them up, man. And anybody who's with that, I'm with you. So yeah, shout out to everybody, man. I appreciate all y'all for coming through tonight because I don't know, man. I get on my soapbox every now and then, but then I get down off my soapbox and I get down in the trenches and really, really get gutter with it if they really want me to. So I guess that's what throw them off about me because they don't know how to come at me. Because Kwame for real know that if he come at me from an intellectual standpoint, I'm going to take everything that he says and I'm going to break it down to the barest minimum of it. And I'm going to lay everything out so that there's no misinterpretation and no misunderstanding. I have that ability. But he also know if he try to get on that ignorant loud shit, I'm going to get on that ignorant loud shit with him too. So what can he do with somebody who can shoot the three and who can drive to the hoop and dunk it? What can you do with somebody like that? Kwame can't do nothing with me. I'm the Ja Morant of his life. I am the Ja Morant of your life, nigga. That's why you scared to face me. That's why you won't let me jump up on no panel. And all of your little squad will jump in front of the bullet and take that bullet for you because they know you don't want to get embarrassed by the Ja Morant of your life. Damn, that's some shit to marinate on right there, for real. So, you know, I'm gonna just sit back and I'm just gonna wait for that opportunity. And you know, there's a couple of other people that I want to talk to. Kwame is not the sole focus of my smoke. There's a couple people that he considered enemies that I want smoke with too. Hassan Campbell is another one. I got smoke. I've been having smoke with Hassan Campbell for years because Ron Savage, the one they call Little Beat Stinger, the one who originally came out about what's his name? the OG of the Zulu Nation, the one who molested him, Africa Bambaataa. Ron Savage originally came out about that. And then whenever Hassan Campbell came out about it, trying to jump on that bandwagon too, or I ain't gonna say jump on the bandwagon, but he got up enough courage to admit that, that happened to him too. But then he began to attack Ron Savage. And I'm like, anybody who's been through sexual assault or that type of trauma, and we see the outward evidence of what it's done to Ron Savage, for you to be somebody who claim to have been through that same thing, and you begin to attack another victim because you want to get shine over that victim, you a piece of shit, dog. And Hassan Campbell is, see, that's the thing about shit. Shit comes out dark a lot of the time. But y'all know how that dog shit, whenever it dries out, it turn white. It get real light. It lighten up a whole lot. That's what Hassan Campbell is. He that dry dog shit. He's definitely a piece of shit. And he's been a piece of shit ever since he pulled that fuckboy ass move with Ron Savage. And I have a major issue with that. Because if anybody know any of my background, they know that I experienced that shit. And so I'm a big advocate for people who go through that. And so for him to attack Ron Savage, somebody who already been traumatized by that shit, yeah, I have absolutely zero respect for Hassan Campbell. And so I've been looking for an opportunity to bust him in his face verbally, not physically, verbally bust him in his face. And recently, whenever he was going through that thing, this recent beef that he just had, this nigga used my name. I made a clip of it, and I think it's somewhere on my page where I showed how this nigga used my name in one of his clips. Now, I don't know if he just used the name just out of just what the name stands for, or he used the name because of me trolling him back in the day. But I know the nigga said my name, so I take that as a subliminal shot towards me, because I'm looking for any reason to put my foot on your throat, son. I'm looking for any opportunity, so I take that right there as a slight against me, whether it is or not. But that's where I am with Hassan Campbell. So it's not like I'm out here just gunning for Kwame Brown and I'm living for opportunity to talk to Kwame Brown. Man, fuck out of here with that shit. If you don't want to talk to me, fine. It's a whole bunch of niggas that run from conversations with me. I ain't gonna lose no sleep over the shit, but I just let it be known that a lot of you niggas out there, I want to have this conversation with. I want to probe a little bit, and I want to see where your mind really at, and I really want to reveal how weak some of you are in your mind a lot of the times, because it's time out for the weak-mindedness. We can't afford to have weak-minded people claiming that they're a part of the movement, that they're a part of the revolution. We can't afford to have weak-minded people, because I guarantee you the other side is not recruiting no weak-minded ass people. And so if you weak as hell and you easily offended and you distracted easily by everything, you need to sit your ass on the sideline and let the real niggas get out here and do this real work. That's what I'm doing. I'm that nigga that's separating the wheat from the tare in this movement that we got going. So you can come on here trying to act like you cool, but until you prove that, I always got a magnifying glass on you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I do. Whether I'm asked to do it or not, that's just in me to do. So you say you don't like Hassan's energy? Yeah, I don't like Hassan's energy either. I really don't either. Because, he tries to paint himself as somebody who's speaking for the community. But I don't know what community he's speaking for, because a lot of the mindsets that he have, no, a majority of our people don't agree with that shit. Y'all excuse me, I had to take a smoke break. I'm back. All right, so you can't ask KB questions. You know what? And I think if I was afforded the opportunity to have that conversation with him, I really, the question that I have for him is very simple. It's not something that he's really going to have to think hard and watch how he articulates it. It's going to be a yes or no question. I'm going to make it very simple. It's not even going to be multiple choice. But if he want multiple choice, I can give him that. And even give him the option of D, none of the above. But the question ain't going to be hard at all. And it is what it is. I'm an inquisitive person. I like to know certain things. I like to have understanding of things. And so whenever I speak on those things, I'll be speaking from a place of knowledge and understanding, not from a place of speculation and guessing. So yeah, I'm going to ask those questions. And if it warrants me of having to risk offending him, then that's what I'm going to do. Does he not offend other people? You know, that's a sense of entitlement when you feel like you can do something and it's okay for you to do it, but nobody else can do it, because that means that you see yourself as more valuable than others. I don't see myself as more valuable than anybody. I don't see anybody as more valuable than me. Money Mayweather is not more valuable than I am. If we were both standing at the pearly gates, he would not be more highly regarded than me because he's Money Mayweather. And that's just how I look at life, and that's how I look at every single person. I don't care who you are. I absolutely don't care who you are. I'm going to address you the way that I would address any other person, because you are a person. Your money don't mean that I'm going to speak to you different. Your position or the label that they've attached to your name is not going to make me speak to you any different, because I give everybody respect until they show me otherwise. And so I don't have a problem with speaking to anybody, because I speak to everybody the same. And so when you do that, you don't have to worry about that stuff. So, it is what it is, man. They keep dodging these confrontations if they want to. That's cool. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm used to that. That's going to happen. And I know that people going to come at me. Cool. I'm used to that. That happens. Shit, how many times I've been in that position in my life with my name? And people always try to use my name as a joke until I school them on the history of my name. And then when I school them on the history of my name, they walk away with that crazy look on their face, because what they thought was going to be funny became a teachable moment for them. And so I got used to doing all of that shit. I done got used to all of the Toby jokes. I got used to all of the cut your foot off jokes. I got used to all of that shit, all of the whip on the back and all of that shit. I got used to all of that shit. Somebody could say to me that's going to embarrass me. How can they? If anybody's watched my TikTok videos, you can see that I am not a person that can easily be embarrassed. I don't even care about embarrassing myself. I make fun of myself. So it's going to be a hard ass thing for you to embarrass me or to downgrade me or anything like that. That ain't the way to go with me. Best to have a conversation. So you say he ain't nobody special. Yeah, he ain't nobody. I mean, his mama might say that he's special. Everybody mama say that they special. So he think he's special. And he always talking about his mama cooking. So, mama got him built up in his confidence. See, KB said he don't answer questions to the police and won't answer anybody else. Hey, well, that's his choice to not answer any questions. Absolutely 100% his choice to not answer any questions. But one thing about not answering questions is that it makes you look guilty. It still makes you look guilty. In the court of law, whenever you have somebody that you're defending and all of the evidence is pointing towards them being what everybody else is accusing them of being, You do not put that motherfucker on the stand. You do not let him speak. You don't let him do anything because you know that he's too dumb to properly articulate himself. You know, on that cross examination, they gonna eat his ass alive because he's not capable of defending himself. And so he's gonna stay quiet and he's not gonna answer any questions. His lawyers told him that shit. So I understand why he don't want to answer no questions. I understand why he don't want to have conversations with somebody who's really going to hold his feet to the fire and who's not going to allow him to do all that redirecting shit and all of that grandstanding shit and going to keep him on the topic at hand and put that pressure on his ass. I understand why he don't. Don't nobody want to be in that position. They do it every day in the courthouse. They got TV shows about it now. So that's just what it is. I've accepted that. That's part of having that perspective. I've gained that perspective. I've understood that about him over this past year that I've been introduced to him. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that, man. And that's just how I'm rocking, man. I appreciate all of y'all for coming in, man. I appreciate for the all of the support. Appreciate all of the back and forth, all of the feedback, everything. This is what builds us up. This is what gives us confidence in what we're doing because many of us in this circle, I'm just going to say this before I get off because this is just evident to me. Many of the content providers in this little community that we have are going to, at some point, go on to great things, big, huge things. I see that. I see how they're moving and I see a system formulating. And a lot of these people, guys and females alike, are going to move on to great things, huger platforms, spotlights that they never imagined before. And it's going to be well deserved. And it was all built right down here. You know, and when you're up there and you look back and you think on everybody that you come in contact with, you're going to be thankful for them preparing you for that next level that you're headed to. So everybody within the community that I've been dealing with here lately, I just want to send that energy to all of y'all. I want to speak that into y'all lives, man, because whenever it actually comes to fruition, you'll be like, you know what? D-Mac told me that shit. So I'm going to leave on that note, man. Y'all know what I say, man. Sticks and stones can break your bones, but the word can always heal you. I'm out.